The Mavericks welcome in Jaylen Brown and the Boston Celtics in the final game before the NBA trade deadline. We'll get you ready for tonight's game coming up next on the DLLS Mavs pregame show. It's the DLLS Mavs pregame show live at our downtown DLLS Sports Studios. Kevin Gray alongside our DLLS Mavs analyst Bobby Curlo. We are DLLS Mavs, your favorite guys, come your favorite team, especially 2 days away from the NBA trade deadline. We'll get you ready for tonight's game as your Dallas Mavericks host Jaylen Brown and the Boston Celtics, a finals rematch, if you will, kind of, if you're into that sort of thing. We've got a lot to talk about here over the next 30 minutes. Our DLLS Mavs beat writer Ron Harrod Jr. will be joining us live from the AAC coming up here in about 15 minutes on this terrific Tuesday. Bobby Curlo, what's going on?
It's been a lot of content coming your way on this channel lately. So if you're still subscribed after all of the notifications you've been getting, because I know you're ringing the bell icon, well, hey, shout out to you. Our Cowboys crew is out in San Francisco getting ready for the big game.
Crushing it,
They're absolutely crushing it. Exclusives with all sorts of folks. But they're not the only beat here that got an exclusive interview recently, Kevin.
That's right.
We are basking in the glory of the knife today.
That's right. And we're going to talk to our DLS Mavs beat writer Ron Harrod Jr. about that very piece coming up in 15 minutes, as the knife had a lot of things to say about his time and potentially remaining in Dallas for the long term. But we got to get you ready for tonight's game. 2 days ahead of the NBA trade deadline, the Mavericks take on the Boston Celtics at the American Airlines Center, where, of course, your Mavericks come into tonight's game at what is 19-30 on the year, 14-14 so far at the AAC. Game number 50 on the season for your Dallas Mavericks, who take on a Celtics team who has been really good this year, 31-18 so far through 49 games, 15-10 away from TD Garden in Boston. You can watch this game in a number of areas. You can watch it on NBC, Peacock, or on KFAA Channel 29 if you are locally. I saw a lot of folks getting into my mentions already because I let them know who's on the call for tonight's game. On NBC, it's Noah Eagle, Brian Scalabrine, and Tanner's favorite, Reggie Miller. Is going to be on the call tonight. So there you go. Just in case you wanted, folks got in my mentions like, you know what, I'll just watch Mark Followell and the local broadcast for tonight's game. So there you go. Tip-off will be
Reggie gets to watch the Caitlin Clark at the NBA, Peyton Pritchard tonight.
I see what you're doing, Tanner. That's good. I see what you're doing there.
Pretty cool stuff.
Peyton Pritchard's been pretty good for my fantasy basketball team this year. All right, so
I wish someone would have had a chance to have asked Peyton Pritchard before the game, hey, what did you think when you heard Reggie Miller compare Caitlin Clark to you as like his NBA comp? I wonder what he would say to that. Tip-off is going to be at 7 p.m. at the AAC with the Celtics, a 7.5-point favorite tonight with the over-under at 223.5. Let's get you set up where both these teams are coming into tonight's game. Your Mavericks, of course, at 19-30, 12th in the Western Conference, entering Tuesday's play, sit 3.5 games behind the Clippers for the the Blazers for the 10th seed and final play-in spot in the West. The Clippers are up to 9th now after their fantastic run here as of late. Mavericks, of course, coming off their 4th straight loss on Saturday night, where they lost to the Houston Rockets on the road in a 111-107 loss. Overall, the Mavericks 5-5 in their last 10 games. Just 8-9 so far against the Eastern Conference and 9-17 against teams 500 or better so far this year. Of course, Dallas begins a quick 2-game homestand tonight with Boston that will finish and conclude on Thursday, when they start a mini baseball series with the San Antonio Spurs. They'll welcome in Victor Wembanyama and the Spurs on Thursday after the NBA trade deadline has concluded. Meanwhile, the Boston Celtics, 31-18, tied for second in the Eastern Conference coming into tonight's game, with the New York Knicks sit 5.5 games behind the Detroit Pistons for the number 1 seed in the Eastern Conference. Boston coming off its second straight win, defeating the Bucks 107-79 on NBA Pioneers Day in Boston, as they were able to clobber the Milwaukee Bucks to finish their 4-game homestand 3-1. Overall 7-3 in the last 10 games are the Celtics, and 18-7 against teams below 500 so far this year. Additionally, they are 9-6 so far against the Western Conference through 15 games. The Celtics are on the first night of the Texas two-step back-to-back. They'll be in Dallas tonight. Then they'll be in Houston to take on the Rockets tomorrow night on the road. As both these teams going in different directions, Bobby, it's going to be interesting because as we get into our lead story for tonight's game, the question is, for Mavericks team having lost 4 straight, a number of individuals on the rumor mill when it comes to Naji Marshall, Daniel Gafford, Klay Thompson, D'Angelo Russell. A lot of noise around this team. What do you expect from tonight, given everything that's going to be taking place over the next couple of days, or maybe not taking place over the next couple of days, and how different this team could potentially look?
Well, chat, you let us know. Who is playing their final game for the Mavs tonight? Or who is sitting on the bench for the Mavs for the final game tonight? Because the next time the Mavs take the floor will be Thursday, which is the day of the trade deadline, but it's Thursday night. The trade deadline is at 2 p.m. Central. We'll be live during that, by the way, to react to all the news. Mark Stein will join us at 2:30. I should reach out to National Tim, see if he wants to come on.
Sure.
But anyway, who do you think will maybe change teams between now and then? I have my own suspicions. I think Daniel Gafford probably going to get traded. Well, I don't want to say probably going to get traded. What did I say the other day? I would be surprised if he was still on the team.
That's right, yes.
Is how I would put it. We'll see about Klay. Please let the knife stick around. Please. But, you know, there's just a lot of noise, man. There's a lot of rumors. There's a lot of distractions. There's a lot of checking your phone. There were already some trades today. Jaren Jackson Jr. went for 3 first-round picks.
3 first-round picks.
That's a lot of first-round picks. It sounds nice.
Yeah,
actually.
I bet that is nice.
Memphis probably isn't done. And, you know, so you got Memphis that is absolutely trying to get bad. Memphis traded a good player to Utah, which shout out Utah for going for it.
Sounds like they're finally deciding that the tank is at least. Hold on. Actually, wait. Next year.
Not yet. We still got a top 8 pick to get.
Yeah,
so
they
got
to
Jackson.
Finish off the tank.
Go
this
ahead
year.
and reroute your plane to Cancun. Just get a head start. But the Mavs are gonna have a lot of competition at the bottom of the standings here, and so I would expect, you know, we'll see about D'Lo, we'll see about AD, we'll see about, you know, there could be some surprises. But we'll see. I mean, I don't know. It's always bittersweet, right? You don't know if this is the last time. And you know, but if it was the last time, would you want to know? It's just one of those things. It's just kind of sucks.
Yeah, I mean, trade deadline week and the days leading up to it are very tough because there could be a lot of transition for players, teams figuring out what direction they want to go. And you mentioned the Utah trade that they made. Memphis has clearly decided that they are going to bottom out for the rest of the season and start all the way over. Could Ja Morant be on the move as well? And, of course, the looming questions with the Mavericks and this team on who stays and who goes, even amidst a team that's 19-30, there's still a lot of intrigue around it, as the Mavericks, of course, have done the hardest part, which is secure the number 1 overall pick and a guy that's going to be really good for the next 15 years in Cooper Flagg, who, oh, by the way, for the 3rd consecutive month was the Western Conference Rookie of the Month was Cooper Flagg. He will be taking on tonight the reigning Eastern Conference Player of the Month for the month of January in the form of Jaylen Brown. So for the Mavericks, these next couple of days are going to be nerve-wracking just to see what happens and what doesn't happen. We'll be all over here, of course, on DLLS Mavs, bringing you the latest, whether it be tomorrow or the day of the trade deadline, as what moves could be happening. The Celtics are going to be led by the aforementioned Jaylen Brown tonight, who's been fantastic this year in the absence of Jason Tatum, who continues to recover from that right Achilles tear. He's averaging 29.4 points per game. That is 4th in the association this year, firmly putting himself in the fringe MVP conversation so far this year through nearly 50 games and averaging nearly 7 rebounds in 45 games so far this year for Boston. And Derek White, of course, NBA champion with the Celtics, averaging over 17 points per game so far this year. The Mavericks going to be led by the reigning Western Conference Rookie of the Month, Cooper Flagg, 3 times over, and Cooper Flagg averaging nearly 20 points per game, upping that average to 19.8 points per game and over 6.5 rebounds per contest in 45 games this year. And the ninth, Naji Marshall, who's having a career year, averaging nearly 15 points per game so far in 48 games for your Dallas Mavericks. Again, we'll talk to Ron Harrod Jr. coming up here in 5 minutes about his fantastic profile piece that he had on the ninth that dropped earlier today. Meanwhile, the Celtics statistical profile looks a little something like this. This is a team that is number 2 in offensive rating, number 11 in defensive rating, which gets them a number 3 overall net rating so far this season. 15th in points per game, 16th in field goal percentage, and a team that's 9th in three-point percentage. We know how much the Celtics love to shoot three-pointers. We'll talk about that a little bit later on as well. And they are 11th in free throw percentage in 49 games so far this year. First of 2 regular season matchups between these two teams. The next time these two teams will get together will be on March 6th. Do you remember last year where we were the last time these two teams got together?
Yes.
Where were we?
I don't know if we can say it.
Why not? You want to say it?
Yeah, we were at Cosm.
Yeah, we were at Cosm. Yeah. We were hanging out with diehards.
Yeah.
We were hanging out with diehards.
Yeah, we were hanging out with diehards. Yeah.
It was a diehard event.
It was a diehard event at Cosm last year.
Met some of them for the first time that night.
Yeah, it was a diehard event at a place.
Okay. All right. That night, Klay Thompson went smooth off for the Dallas Mavericks. That game took place on February 6th, which was, of course, 5 days after the trade, where the Mavericks got a 127-120 victory on the road in TD Garden in Boston. Klay Thompson that night, 25 points. Daniel Gafford, who's been playing really well as of late, 15 boards in that contest to lead the Mavericks in a good win over the Celtics. Last season, both the road teams won the matchups in the 2 games. These two teams, again, as I said, will meet each other on March the 6th, this time in Boston. Should be a very interesting night at the American Airlines Center as these two teams, one looking to continue some really good momentum in terms of the Boston Celtics as they try to continue to catch the Pistons and the Knicks at the top of the Eastern Conference. Meanwhile, the Dallas Mavericks trying to figure out a way, if you're into that sort of thing, to get a win to snap their 4-game losing streak, which is tied for the longest of the season. They haven't had a 5-game losing streak as of yet. They've lost 4 straight times, a couple of times this season, but not a 5-game losing streak. They'll look to stop that tonight, take on a Celtics team that's looking to continue to play well this season. Coming up here.
I think everyone is more just well, I don't want to speak for anyone in the chat, but feels like everyone is more interested in the deadline than this game. And that's the other thing about the league, like the way that it is covered and talked about. I mean, dude, we're as guilty of it as anybody. I'm so sick and tired of the deadline. We've been talking about trades every day for like 3 months now.
We have.
It's very annoying. And it just feels like the games are a distraction from the good stuff, which is a bit of a bummer, let's be honest. But I mean, it just kind of is the nature of the beast.
I will say I'm glad that it felt like for a while the entire league was just going to be held hostage by whatever happens in Milwaukee with Giannis. It feels like the lid has been taken off and teams are like, look, only one team is going to get Giannis. We've got business to take care of, and these teams have decided, let's just go ahead and making the moves that we need to in order to decide what kind of futures we want to have. And we saw several trades already, including one that affected tonight's game, because Anthony Simons is on his way to Chicago. He is out tonight, obviously. He is going to be on the move to Chicago in exchange for Nikola Vucevic, who is going from Chicago to Boston. So Boston gets their center that they've been looking for, a stretch 5 that can definitely knock down threes, while Anthony Simons and his expiring is headed to Chicago, where they've got more guards than that you could think of at this rate. Who knows?
I think it's a pretty ambitious for them to want Tari Eason for Kobe White, but hey, dare to dream, That's a
real report on that?
Apparently.
Oh, I didn't see that one. Okay.
And apparently they want Tari Eason. I can only imagine that, they're not floating Io DeSunmu for Tari Eason.
Well, yeah, I mentioned a little bit earlier.
I don't know why the Rockets would do that either.
They need a point guard.
Yeah, Tari Eason's good.
But, they need a guard. Like, Fred VanVleet's on an expiring next year.
Yeah, Tari Eason's not the guy I would trade. But
interesting.
Yeah, I like him. But Jabari Smith?
Oh, maybe. Okay. All right.
I don't know.
Yeah, Tari Eason, good 3-point shooter. So that would be interesting if they moved on for him. Doesn't shoot a lot of them, but, shoots a good percentage from the 3-point line.
He's a good player. He's like 21 or 22 or whatever.
Yeah.
Jabari Smith is young too. It's a pretty good problem to have.
If you're the Houston Rockets.
We got too many good young players. What do we do with all of them?
That's what these teams are trying to figure out. I do think it's interesting that, Simons, who's on expiring, he goes to goes to Chicago, where they've got other expirings that they've got to deal with. As we mentioned, Kobe White, who could find himself in Houston, where they could use a guard as a stopgap, as Fred VanVleet was probably going to miss the rest of the season, obviously, with that torn ACL that he's dealing with, because they need a point guard to help run that offense. It's a mess with Ahmed Thompson trying to run things. Coming up here in just a moment, we will welcome in our DLLS Mavs beat writer Ron Harrod Jr. live from the American Airlines Center to talk to him about his newest piece, talking and discussing the knife. We'll let you know who's in, who's out, and get to our X factors as well. But before we get to this, help you win some money tonight when it comes to Prize Picks.
That's right. Oh, I didn't have to stall very long because it just had it right up on my phone. Prize Picks, such an easy app to use. My pick of the game. Cooper Flagg. I'm going a little safe tonight. I've lost a couple in a row. I'm ready. I'm
Dial it back a little
tired
bit.
of losing.
Okay, all right.
All right, now none of the losses are my fault. It's usually been Cooper Flagg's fault. But he's going to step up tonight. Coop, more than 5.5 rebounds.
I like that. That's a good pick.
I don't even think that's very ambitious.
No, that's a good pick.
Famous last words. Jaylen Brown, more than 10.5 rebounds plus assists. He hasn't been a big assist guy lately, but he does get some boards. And I think the Mavs might double team him tonight. So I'm feeling ambitious.
Okay.
Then Naji Marshall, more than 11.5 points. The Knife did have kind of a poor game the other day. I'm not going to lie. Below his standards.
Bounce back game.
I think he's going to bounce back. He got the Ron Harrod Jr. bump in the press today. If my $5 lineup hits, I will win $10.50. How about that?
I like what you're doing.
How about that? If you want to play along, download Prize Picks today. Use promo code DLLS when submitting your first $5 lineup, and your account will be gifted $50 in lineups to use anytime you choose on Prize Picks. It's good to be right.
Let's go out to the American Airlines Center right now. Welcome in our DLLS Mavs beat writer, Ron Harrod Jr. You can find him on X at Ron Knows Sports. Unfortunately, sporting Celtic green tonight. I don't know what you're doing.
Yeah, what
there.
the heck, dude?
What are you
well,
doing?
Wait a minute. What the heck, dude?
Well, that's different. That's Mavericks green. That right there is Celtic green. I don't know what Ron was
and
doing.
The white too.
Yeah, exactly.
Someone else said that to me earlier. Like, man, you're going for the away team. I said, for people that don't know, sometimes I will pick out my clothes on a Sunday, and I'll put like what shirt calls to me, and I'll put it on the pair of shoes, and then we'll pick out the rest of the outfit, maybe on the day of, maybe the pants, whatever it is. I'm like, you know what? I want to wear that shirt this week, and I just put it on my pair of shoes. It, like, saves me so much time and thought, because normally if that happens, it just comes to me.
How many shirts would you say you own?
I own a lot of shirts. I don't know how many, but I own a good amount. Yeah, sadly for me, my weight keeps changing because I guess the gym and my food, so that sucks. But hey, whose fault is that but mine?
Oh, wow. To be young and 25 and swollen at the gym. My shirts don't fit.
I keep putting on muscles.
Oh, my gosh.
My chest keeps getting more chiseled, and it's ripped.
I got a girlfriend. I got a great job. My chest is all chiseled.
I have a cool car.
Shut up. Oh,
yeah, no one cares. I wrote an exclusive.
Jeez, man.
J-Kid liked my article.
Naji.
I'm best friends with Naji Marshall. No one cares.
Man.
Oh, my God.
God.
You set yourself up for that.
I did.
Let's let you know who's in and who's out before we get to Ron and his incredible piece that he had today discussing the night for the Boston Celtics. Chris Boucher, he's out for personal reasons. Could he be on the move as well? He could be a part of a trade. Who knows? Anthony Simons, as we mentioned, he is out for personal reasons. That's because his personal reasons are taking him to the Windy City in Chicago.
I'd say that's business, not personal. You know?
Well, maybe he's taking some personal time to deal with the effects of being traded to Chicago. Who knows? And then, of course, Jason Tatum continues to recover from that right Achilles repair. He is out tonight for Boston. Meanwhile, oh, my gosh, for the Dallas Mavericks. The ones of note, PJ Washington, he's in concussion protocol. He was immediately ruled out for tonight's game yesterday. So he is out for tonight's game.
Did he get hit in the back of the head?
He got dinged in the back of the head,
Okay.
On Saturday.
Okay.
Brandon Williams, he's out tonight with the right lower leg contusion, and D'Angelo Russell, the illness is back for him.
Still sick, huh?
Apparently.
Wow.
All three two-way guys are available. Ryan Nembhard,
Interesting.
Miles Kelly, and Musa Cisse, which means after tonight. Was that counter as of after tonight or before it's going into tonight, Tanner?
I got it right. Okay, so this is going into this game. So
okay.
Deduct 1 from every number for after the game.
So after tonight, Musa Cisse will have 9 games remaining. After tonight, Ryan Nembhard will have 7 games remaining. And Miles Kelly, he's okay. He'll have 31 games remaining. But, yeah, the ones of note, particularly Ryan Nembhard, will have 7 games left on his two-way, which means they got to do something to get him on a standard two-way contract, or standard contract.
If they still want to. He has not been playing very well lately.
He has not. So we will see. That gets us to our Mavericks player spotlight, where we turn it over to our guy, Ron Harrod Jr., who had a fantastic piece today that dropped on alldlls.com. I encourage you to become a diehard member to check that piece out, discussing the knife, and had a fantastic conversation with him.
Yeah, so just to be frank, I mean, Naji Marshall said, hey, if I want to stay with Cooper Flagg, like, everything else was like, hey, it's a business. I understand that anything, that can happen. But when asked, like, hey, well, do you want to spend the rest of your career with Cooper Flagg? His whole mood changed. He's smiling. He lights up. He says, that guy's going to create history, and I just want to be a part of it. We talk a lot on this channel about, like, players knowing who they are, knowing their role. There are certain players that haven't played, that are, out with an illness, that sometimes don't understand their role on a team. Naji Marshall knows exactly who he is. He said, hey, Cooper Flagg's the guy on this squad. I just want to figure out, how do I make his life easier on the court? And of course, when he's off the court, we can win some of those minutes. And he's done something like that. And he talked about his connection with Max Christie. He said, that's his UDA. I said, well, what does that mean? He says, I take the SH off shooter. I said, oh, okay. So him and Max Christie, their bond, he said that they make each other better, that he loves playing. He said they kind of feed off of each other's energy. And I felt that because a lot of Max Christie's corner threes and behind, just beyond the arc threes, period, Naji Marshall is the passer on a lot of those attempts. And that chemistry has been building with both of them all this season. And it's seeming, as our DLS reporter Mark Stein reported, that, they're building around Cooper Flagg, and maybe Naji Marshall is one of those guys. Maybe Max Christie is one of those guys. And of course, hopefully next year, Derek Lively is one of those guys.
Yeah, I mean, look, Naji's had a career year. He's averaging nearly 15 points per game. You see, as a starter, averaging nearly 18 points per game, shooting over 56% from the field, giving you nearly 33 minutes per night as well. He's taking on defensive assignments. He's doing a little bit of everything for this team. We know about the efficiency within the restricted area. His floater game has been fantastic this year. And most importantly, he's on a hell of a contract, only making $9 million this year and next year as part of finishing out a 3-year, $27 million deal that he signed to join the team, a season ago. So he's been everything and more as far as the elevation of his game. Bobby, I think he's played himself into the most improved player conversation. But more importantly, he's become a very integral part of this team and a fan favorite around here for the Mavericks.
Yes, indeedy. And obviously, if the Mavs don't trade him by Thursday, he'll be going into the final year of his deal next year, and so you'll want to talk about extensions and stuff with him over the summer. Much like with PJ, there's a cap on what they can offer him, and much like with PJ, I bet the Mavs will get pretty close to that cap, if not all the way up to it, but that's for the offseason. He's been really, really good this year, and, he's had a much better season than PJ.
He has.
He's had a much better season than Gafford. He's had a much better season than D'Lo, and a lot of the guys that the Mavs gave money to last summer, and so I think he's perfectly well within his rights to expect a large payday come this summer if the Mavs keep him.
Yeah, that's going to be a tough decision, and whether or not that's made at the trade deadline, because as Bobby astutely points out,
let us know. Do you want the knife to stay, or do you want the Mavs to, if they can get a first rounder, do you want them to take the deal?
Well, I can tell you all what Jason Kidd had to say about that, because Jason Kidd, as we say, possibly a diehard. We said, you know what, Jason Kidd, maybe that's him in the comments. Well, maybe it was, because he commented on the Naji Marshall quote. He said, just like on, Naji wanting to stay in Dallas. He said, you see Naji has come out and said he loves playing for the Mavs, but now I'm paraphrasing, then he could be traded, which that was a part of a big thing that he talked about like, hey, these are professionals. They can be traded before a game, after a game, or during a game. He says the small print in an NBA contract that they don't tell you about is that this is a business, and essentially anything could happen. So he says, even though the quote came out about Naji wanting to stay in Dallas, at the end of the day, a business is a business.
Blip says pro knife. Oscar says stay. Boogie, keep Naji. Ryan says the Mavs will have an overhaul of players come next year. Trent says stay. Feels like a lot of people like
a lot
Naji,
of people
man.
are very upset in my comments about that.
What do you mean?
About the Jason Kidd on the Naji thing, like he could be traded.
Oh,
people are very upset.
Yeah.
Very upset on Twitter about that.
Yeah, I mean, he can't say, well, we're not going to trade him. I mean,
he can't say that. Yeah.
Yeah.
You can't say
but,
that.
you know, there's probably more delicate ways of putting it than the way that he actually put it, which is like, I know that he said he wants to be a Mav, but he could still get traded. It's like, oh, I mean, yeah, I guess he could, but.
Yeah. I mean, in a perfect world, I would love to have Naji stay here. He has obviously carved out a role, no pun intended. But at the same time, this is a team that is devoid of real assets. And if Naji can get you a really good first-round pick, as the Mavericks have reportedly said that is the threshold in order to acquire him, you would have to seriously consider it. He's 28 years old. Obviously, you know, there's a world where he could get a contract next year that could, you know, be rather expensive given the Mavericks' financial situation right now. That may make it a little more difficult for him to keep. So it's a tough decision. And as our guy Mark Stein has reported, they don't want to trade him. Same with Max Christie. They don't want to trade him. But obviously they're going to be listening over the next, you know, couple of days to figure out what's best for them. But
Ron, a couple people have asked, are you trolling J-Kid with the Celtics colors?
No, I'm not trolling J-Kid. He did actually, somebody did ask him about his, I guess, outburst, I guess is what I think how it was phrased in the meeting. I mean, sorry, at the press conference. I don't know why I said meeting. Too much meetings at DLLS. But anyway,
dude, you cannot tell me.
Shot fired.
You cannot tell me there's too many meetings. You've been in like 3 meetings.
That's
this
the wrong
year.
guy to talk about meetings with. The wrong guy.
I've been here
Like,
6
I
months.
will
You've been in like
show
5
you.
meetings. I don't want to hear S from you about meetings.
and everyone there goes our head of content. But okay, so Jason Kidd says, I take full responsibility for my actions, my fine, but I said what I had to say.
He said, J-Kid said, I said what I said.
I mean, he stood on it. I mean,
That's what he said.
yeah, that's what he said.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, he did what he had to do. The message was sent. Y'all start looking out for my rookie. And he took the 35 large for the fine for it. So I respect it. You got to do what you got to do to protect your rookie.
And I would say that even the people that are the most kind of like skeptical of J-Kid's intentions, you know,
Yeah.
they would say it's because J-Kid is a really calculated fella.
Sure.
I think J-Kid knew exactly what he was doing.
Yeah. And good on him.
He did.
Yeah, and good on him. And look, if he cool with losing 35 large, have at it.
What would it take for you to be like, you know what? I'm cool with losing 35K.
Absolutely nothing. Absolutely nothing. I'm not in a position
is
to light
not true.
35K on fire for some words about some referees. I'm not. That's what the multi-year contract is for him.
If KG was making Jason Kidd salary money and a player fouled someone on the 3-point line, he would curse on national TV and lose money. Like that's
Touche.
exactly that's
He would
what,
pull a
that's how
Bobby
KG
Knight.
would get fined.
If one of KG's players fouled a 3-point shooter, he would. I think you'd get not fined. You would get banned.
No, I wouldn't do
Is he
that.
like
I would
hitting
just
players in the back
immediately
of the
pull the
head?
player and sit him down for like 2 minutes. I'd immediately pull him.
But coach, it's your superstar, and there's 30 seconds left in the game.
Yeah, sit your ass down. Clearly, your head not in the game. Your head not in the game. You fouling 3-point shooters, especially if they make it too. Like, yeah, you sit your ass down. You get back in a second. Don't worry about it. 3 X factors for tonight's game, real quick. The Mavericks got to keep up from the 3-point line with the Boston Celtics. This is a Celtics team that scores over 40% of their points per game from the 3-point line. They're only one of 2 teams in the league that does that. The other team is the Golden State Warriors. Boston loves to shoot threes. They will shoot a bazillion of them. They got to keep up with them from the 3-point line. And if you're the Mavericks, you got to find a way to force the issue a little bit. This is a Celtics team that protects the ball better than any team in the league. They only commit 12 turnovers per contest this season. That is the best and the fewest in the NBA so far this year. And if you're the Mavericks, you got to find a way to capitalize off the turnovers that you do force against the Boston Celtics, because this is a team that's only allowing 14 points per game off turnovers so far this year. So when you get a chance to capitalize, do it. because the Boston Celtics don't give up too many points off turnovers this year. Ron, we appreciate the time as always. Look forward to talking to you post game right here on DLLS Mavs, and enjoy the game tonight. We'll talk to you then.
See you, everybody.
Bye, Ron.
Peace.
I mean, no disrespect, because I do like Norman Powell.
Okay. Feel like some real disrespect about to come.
Why is he on the All-Star team?
He's having a fantastic year in Miami. 23
points is cool, but 3 rebounds, 2 assists.
I think that's a career high for him. 23 points, I think it is.
Yeah. 3.7 rebounds is also his career high.
3 points. Oh, I didn't know that.
2.6 assists. Like, is that the best the East got?
Have
They're about to trade Giannis to Minnesota.
you looked around in the East?
Like,
It's not a lot going on over there.
Grizzlies traded Jaren Jackson Jr. to a team in the West.
Low key,
The Bucks are about to trade Giannis to a team in the West. Can we we need to start a dialogue.
about what?
You got to ban conferences, dude.
Oh, you ready to abolish the
You
conferences?
have to do that, or like
1 through 16.
make a 3-conference league or something. Like this is
Too much for you?
This is a disgrace. It's a disgrace.
Actually, I wouldn't mind the idea of 1 through 16. Top 16 teams getting the league record
You
wise.
can't play. You can't play West teams 4 times and East teams twice. That is just unreasonable.
So you would be in favor of a more balanced
schedule, dude. Like,
schedule?
if Giannis gets traded to the West,
I mean, that's a terrifying duo. Anthony Edwards and Giannis together. Yikes, man. Good gracious.
it's already like 10 of the best 11 teams are in the West. Like, it's like not even, dude. It's unbelievable.
That's true.
It's unbelievable. And that's an exaggeration. It's really 10 of the 12 best. All right.
We'll talk about more during the post game, but I kind of like what Utah might be cooking a little bit out there once they decide to finally have some shame next year.
They should try and establish a winning culture right now.
Right now?
Yep.
I don't think so.
No, they should win.
They got to protect that top 8 pick.
They should win like 25 more games this year.
Okay.
If they were real.
Oh, okay. Okay. Appreciate our guy Tanner making us look good and sound as always. Thank you, sir. That's our DLS Mavs analyst Bobby Curl. I'm your host, Kevin Gray. We are DLS Mavs. We'll talk to you about 10-15 minutes after the final buzzer of tonight's game between your Mavericks and the Boston Celtics. Y'all be good. Peace.
We all silly like the mayor.